Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the channel, OxmanGarage. We're in the beautiful state of Maryland, which is my home state, and today we're going to be installing some 6-element parts. I'm going to wait a couple of hours for my buddy Ben to come over, and he's going to help me with the camera today. I'll put a link down in the description below from his Instagram account. But yeah, let's jump into the video. All right, so let's open up these boxes and find out what's inside. Most of you probably already have a great idea of what they are with what the packaging is. Let's not make a huge mess. And what do we have here? Alright, the 6 turbo inlet. So, looking on the line, this should get about 10 horsepower. Now, what's in the other box is pretty much just for aesthetics. We have the coupler and everything inside. So now, let's get to the big box. Now the big question is, what material did I use? That's probably going to be what everybody's question is going to be. So let's get that answered after we open up everything else.
Again, trying not to make a mess.
Yeah, well, that's not always possible. Now that intake looks awesome. How did that all get inside?
Well, it's got holes, Phil.
Oh, there it is. Touché. So now, there's the intake box. That is a closed box, so a direct replacement for the most part. And now, what's in here is the big question. What material did I get? As more popcorn goes everywhere.
Drum roll, please.
Carbon fiber. Really nice quality too. It looks great.
Look at that. Oh, and my shadow's in the way.
Well, now we know what we're installing today. Let's get it put in the car. Now, because Ben wants to see me crouch down like this, so there you go, Benjamin. We have the tools that we're working with today. We have is just a magnetic tray to hold all the screws, a swivel, a Phillips screwdriver, socket set. I like using the, get a little bit more torque, but we're only using 1/4 inch, so we don't over torque anything. And then I'll use a torque wrench to get the bolts that are going onto the turbo perfectly. For this is going to be the little non-powering tool to get the 2 clips off the top. And then, instead of using just a set of pliers, we're going to actually use the right tool to get the clamps off.
Hey, it's almost like you're never going to forget that this is your screwdriver, because it's a Phillips.
You're really corny.
Screwdriver.
Alright, first things first, let's get these clips off the top. There's 1, and there is 2. I'm going to put these off to the side so we don't lose those or break them. So that's going to be to take the intake off. So now I'm just going to release all 3 of these bad boys. Where is the... Oh, it's just 2. Don't mind me.
I always mind you, Phil.
Yeah. Nobody asked you, Ben.
I asked myself.
So now let's get these clips off. So literally just pull that off, and that will come right off pretty easily like it was before. Or actually, did we learn this the hard way the last time and just use the black ones? And that comes right off. Yep. So, and once again, take this off, and this comes right off as well. So we're good there. And now, last but not least, is going to be loosening this clamp on the back for the turbo inlet. That should be loose enough to get that off, which it is, and this whole top piece comes off. Alright, now we are going to take the bottom box off, so let's just make this easier on ourselves. Use the 10 mil and off. And these should not be on that tight at all. So 1, 2, And the third one's going to be way down there, so I'm going to actually add one more, the little extension, just to get this around the PCM. Now all this stuff also I'm going to put off to the side because we're not going to be reusing any of this hardware now for the install of the new one. So move this. Try to put my hand all the way down there, just grab that, and we are good to go.
Don't bend over in front of the camera like that, Phil. People might get the wrong idea what kind of channel this is.
Alright, so for the next, what we're going to do is we're going to tackle the turbo inlet and get that taken care of first, which is not going to be a whole bunch of fun. And the way we're going to do that is there's 3 bolts, one here and 2 underneath. They can be kind of a pain, so I got a couple of different extensions and a couple of different sizes and a couple of different swivels, so we should be able to get to that okay. So first things first is try to get the ones on the bottom done. Obviously the one on the top is really not going to be a big problem, but the ones on the bottom, it's going to be a big pain in the butt. So there's the first one. Get the ratchet attached to the extension and make sure we are good. And there's the first one. And broke that loose. And now let's get to, so let's break the top one loose while we're at it. So that's broken loose. And now the third and final. You got a runny nose there, Ben? Because I know they can hear that on.
I have a carcane problem.
I think we all do. That's why we're all here, isn't it?
And why we're all broke.
And that's actually, alright, so I took out the top bolt and the one in the front. This back one's a pain to get to because of this line right here, which you can see it. So I undid the first 2 and I'm pushing this down, and then I'm going to remove the third one. Okay, you can, and there we have it.
There you go.
Got the turbo inlet out, so now it's time to put the new one in.
Size comparison?
There's a
Pretty big difference there, huh?
huge difference.
It's a little bit.
There's a ginormous difference. Alright, now let's install the turbo inlet. Now this one is much bigger than the other one, so we can't do that little cheat that I did beforehand. So that back bolt is still going to be a nice big pain in the butt, but at least I can start the top one off and then just leave it, give it some wiggle room, and then get the other 2 bolts in and then snug it up. Alright, now we are putting the battery back into the car, and you may ask, well, why are you putting it back in the cars? Well, to get to that third bolt, you really needed to extra leverage and extra room. So just gonna put this back in, and then we're going to start installing the intake. Alright, so we put the battery back in, didn't put the negative battery terminal on. We're going to put the mounting pads for the new intake in. So going to be screwing on right the 3 spots where the original one went, and the third one's all the way down here. Nice little standoffs for it. Don't need to worry about them too tight, because when you screw in the other bolt that holds down the intake, it's gonna screw and you make it even tighter. Loosen the clamps up, put these in the direction that you want to mount them, and then get this bad boy on. Put it all the way on the way that you need it to be. All this is going to be loosely mounted, obviously, until you have everything in and correct the way you need it. You have this. Then you have that, and then get the box in, and then we can bolt all this up.
Look at that. Sixth element. It's pretty heavy duty stuff you got there, Phil.
It's good, definitely high quality. Made in South Carolina.
America, baby.
Let's do that. Then, last but not least, installed in there just like stock would. So now put the two clamps in, and then put the 3 bolts in, and then line everything here up the way that needs to properly, and then tighten it all down. And there you have it. It is all installed. So what I'm going to do right now real quick is going to give you a video of before and after the intake install. And there you have it, before and after. What do you guys think? Can you hear a difference? Personally, while driving down the road, I can definitely hear a big difference in before and after. And yes, it could be louder, but you definitely hear some turbo noises, and I love it so much. To top everything else off, it just looks awesome inside the engine bay. Carbon fiber looks amazing, and it just gives it an extra flair. It's gonna be interesting to see what the dyno numbers are gonna be with the 6-element turbo inlet. They claim 10 horsepower. We saw what my car did stock. So it's gonna be interesting to find out what this car does here in the next week or two when I do revisit the dyno. And that's going to effectively end today's video. If you haven't yet, please consider subscribing to the channel. Only 7% of you watching my videos are actually subscribed to the channel. So can you take a moment and hit that subscribe button and hit the notification bell while you're at it. And if you're down there like squad, go smash that like button for me. We were creeping up on 1,900 subscribers, so we're getting closer to my next goal of 2,000 subscribers. As you all know, if you've been watching my videos, at 2,000 subscribers, I'm going to be giving away a $200 Amazon gift card. So stay tuned for more information on how to win that. And like I said, if you haven't, please subscribe to the channel. And until next time, peace.